Chapter 6. The Descent of the Savior. John stood on the edge of Yaldabaoth's false world, the weight of his responsibility pressing down on him. The vision of souls trapped in endless cycles of desire and ignorance haunted him. The light of Gnosis flickered within him. But he knew that for many souls it remained buried beneath layers of illusion spun by the archons. John had resolved to guide others toward liberation. But even as that resolve solidified, he sensed the journey ahead would demand more of him than he could yet understand. The figure of light reappeared brighter than before, its radiance cutting through the oppressive atmosphere of the material world. John felt his presence not just as a source of wisdom, but as a comforting reminder of the pleroma, the true source. Still, there was an urgency in the figure's tone, as if the next revelation was crucial to the battle unfolding before them. The souls need more than a guide, the figure began, its voice both gentle and firm. They need a savior. The struggle they face is not simply one of knowledge. It is a struggle to remember to see past the illusions that have bound them for so long. Sophia's light is within them, but it is faint, and they cannot fully access it on their own. The savior must ascend, one who can awaken that light, who can reignite the divine spark and guide them back to the pleroma. John's heart quickened. He had heard of such figures in ancient texts, being sent from the higher realms to deliver souls from the bonds of ignorance. Could such a savior truly enter this world? And what hope could one being bring against the formidable power of the archons? The savior comes, the figure said, as if answering his unspoken question. But not as a conqueror, not as one who seeks to rule. The savior descends from the pleroma in humility and wisdom, bearing the light that Yaldabaoth and the archons cannot comprehend. The souls who are ready will see this light and begin to remember, but the path is not easy. The archons will not release their grip without a fight. The vision shifted and John found himself once more standing in the heart of the material world. The land was still barren, twisted by Yaldabaoth's blind creation. But now there was something new, a light bright and pure descending from the sky. It was not an overwhelming, blinding force, but a soft, steady radiance that brought peace to the desolation around it. John's eyes followed the light as it touched the ground, transforming the landscape where it fell. The ground, once dry and cracked, began to bloom with life. Souls wandering aimlessly through the false world paused in their tracks, their heads turning toward the light as if sensing something long forgotten. "What is this?" John asked, his voice filled with awe. "What is this light?" "This is the Savior," the figure replied, its tone filled with reverence. "The one sent from the pleroma, the Savior's descent signals the beginning of awakening for those who are ready." The souls, though still bound by the archon's illusion, sense the truth in this light. It stirs something deep within them, a memory of the pleroma, of their true home. John watched as the light coalesced into a human form, the Savior stepping gently into the world. The Savior did not appear in splendor or majesty, but in quiet humility, as one who came not to command, but to teach. John could feel the Savior's presence radiating not just light but compassion, a deep love that seemed to reach into the very hearts of the souls around them. The souls whose light had been dimmed by the archons began to stir more fully now. John could see the flicker of recognition in their eyes as they looked toward the Savior, their steps hesitant but filled with a new sense of hope. The Savior spoke to them, and though John could not yet hear the words, he felt their power. The words carried not just knowledge, but a deep, transformative truth. The souls were awakening, but as the Savior's light spread, so too did the shadows shift. The archons, sensing a threat to their control, began to move. Their grotesque forms, hidden in the corners of the world, emerged once again. John saw them hovering above the souls, whispering into their minds, sowing doubt, fear, and mistrust. "They cannot allow this light to spread," the figure of light said, its voice heavy with sorrow. "The archons know that their power rests in keeping the souls blind to the truth. They will twist the Savior's message, distort it, and use the soul's own fears to turn them away from the light. They will whisper that the material world is all there is, that the light of the Savior is a lie." John's anger fled as he watched the archons work. They whispered lies into the ears of the souls, telling them that the path of Gnosis was dangerous, that the light would lead them to suffering, not freedom. Some souls faltered, their hope dimming as the archons' voices grew louder.